I am Lakshmi Prasanna, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Welcome to the lecture session of image processing. In this session, we will learn about a model of the image degradation and restoration process, and also we will learn about noise models. So, in this topic, what are different subtopics we are going to cover in this session? So, in the model of image degradation and restoration process, we are going to learn what is image degradation and what is image restoration, and how both of them are helpful for image enhancement. And also we will see how to represent image degradation in spatial domain and image degradation in frequency domain representations. And coming to the next topic, noise models, we are going to cover subtopics like different types of noise models like Gaussian noise, relay noise, Erlang noise, which is also called as gamma noise, and exponential noise, uniform noise, and impulse noise. So impulse noise is also called as salt and pepper noise. So we are going to see different types of noise models, and we will learn how to represent the PDF for all these noise models, probability density function, PDF. And next, we are going to see another topic, which is periodic noise by considering the sinusoidal signal. And next, we will see estimation of noise parameters. That means what are the parameters we are going to consider, like mean and variance, in order to estimate the noise in the image. So we will see about all these topics in this session. So coming to the first topic, that is the model of image degradation and restoration process. Here, if we look at this block diagram, it is developed with two stages. One stage is degradation and the second stage is restoration. So this degradation is used to add the noise to the original image, and the output what we are going to get from this degradation block is fed as input to this restoration block. And the function of this restoration block is to bring back the original image. So totally, this degradation and restoration process, it is used for image enhancement. So image enhancement means improving the quality of the image. Now we will see the process, how the degradation is performed and how restoration is performed, and what is our objective of using this process. Now, so here we are going to consider the input image, two-dimensional input image represented with the function f of x comma y. This input image is given to degradation function. So here degradation function is represented with h. So it is passing through this degradation function h, and to this output the additive noise sigma of x comma y is added to this degradation function h. Then the output what we are going to get is g of x comma y. So h and eta of x comma y. So these two will be added here, and the output what we are going to get is g of x comma y. Now this g of x comma y, we are going to give input for this restoration filter, and the output what we are going to get is f cap of x comma y. So the main objective is the value what we are going to get, f cap of x comma y, should be very near to the input image f of x comma y. So in order to obtain f cap of x comma y is equal to f of x comma y, we should have more knowledge about two important things. One is about the degradation function h, next is about the additive noise what we are going to add. So if we have knowledge of these two parameters, that is degradation function h and additive noise, this particular objective can be achieved. Like we can achieve f cap of x comma y is equal to f of x comma y. So this entire process is done in order to achieve image enhancement, improving the quality of the image. So here the two steps what we are following is, first we are going to degrade the input image. That particular degraded image, again we are going to restore that. Now, so the same according to this block diagram, whatever we have discussed. So degradation function and additive noise. So here degradation function is h and additive noise is eta of x comma y. Operates on the input image, that is f of x comma y. These two will be operating on this input image f of x comma y to produce the degraded image g of x comma y. So the degraded image will be generated. Next, the degraded image g of x comma y we are going to get from this first stage, that is degradation stage. So if we see this image g of x comma y, we will understand only if we have proper knowledge on the degradation function h and some of the knowledge regarding the additive noise eta of x comma y. So the main objective of this entire process is to make the output f cap of x comma y similar to the original image, which is equal to f of x comma y. So here we want to estimate the output to be close as possible to the original image, and in general we should have idea about h and eta. So the closer f cap of x comma y will be to f of x comma y. So this is the basic procedure we will use to perform degradation and restoration process for image enhancement, for improving the quality of the image. Now we will see how to represent this degradation block output g of x comma y in terms of spatial domain and frequency domain. So we can see here, considering this block what we have discussed, so the output of this degradation block is g of x comma y, where it includes degradation function and additive noise. So we can represent that concept in terms of mathematical expression in spatial domain and frequency domain. So coming to the spatial domain, the degradation function is represented as g of x comma y. So here this is the output of the degradation stage. This is first stage and this is second stage. Okay. So the output of first stage is g of x comma y is equal to h of x comma y, which is from degradation function h, into f of x comma y, which is the input image f of x comma y. And to that, the additive noise eta of x comma y will be added. So the output will be equal to g of x comma y is equal to h of x comma y into f of x comma y plus eta of x comma y. So the same equation, so here we can observe this symbol. Okay, so this symbol represents the convolution operation between these two parameters. Now, so the same thing, the output of this degradation block, that is first stage, can be represented in frequency domain. So in frequency domain, g of x comma y is equal to g of u comma v, which is equal to, instead of h of x comma y, in frequency domain we will represent as h of u comma v, which is the degradation function, into here f of x comma y, it is replaced with f of u comma v in frequency domain, plus additive noise eta of x comma y will be represented as n of u comma v. So while representing in the frequency domain, we can observe in the spatial domain you have here convolution operation performed between this degradation function and input image. If we want to represent that in terms of frequency domain, the convolution operation will be changed to multiplication. So here we can observe, instead of convolution, there is multiplication between this degradation function and input image. So this is how we have to represent mathematically in terms of spatial domain and frequency domain. So this is the entire procedure. So this is the entire procedure we will follow to perform degradation and restoration on particular image for image enhancement. Now coming to the second topic, which is noise models. So generally noise will be included in the images while they are acquired. That is, during image acquisition, noise may be included in the images due to many reasons. So noise in the digital images arises during image acquisition or during transmission, image transmission. So these are different reasons where the noise will be added to the images. So how the noise will be added during image acquisition means, we will see what are different reasons during image acquisition, how the noise will be included during image acquisition. So performance of sensors. So while capturing the image, we are going to capture with the help of camera. At that condition, the sensors may not be working properly. So due to that, there is chance of adding noise to the images. And the second reason may be due to environmental conditions. So here, due to environmental conditions means, while we are capturing the image by the camera, the climate may be different. That means it may not be having sufficient illumination of light. So due to that, the noise may be included in the image, added to the image. And another reason may be wrong adjustments of lens apertures. That means while capturing the image by the camera, so inside the camera there may be lens problem, the lens may not be placed properly. So due to all these reasons, the noise may be included, the noise may be added in the image during image acquisition. And here the second reason is during image transmission. So now we will see what are different reasons that will make the noise to be added into the images. So during transmission means, generally here after capturing the image, if we want to send that image, we are going to use the wireless transmission. So due to interface interference, that is noise present in the channel, there may be chance of adding noise to the image. So we are going to send the image through the channel which is of wireless. So in that channels also, while sending, there is a chance of adding noise to the images. So due to these reasons, the noise may be included in the digital images during transmission. So our intention is reducing that noise. So the noise can be removed. So if the noise is removed, what is the advantage? The image quality can be improved. So the quality of the images will be improved. So that is why we have to reduce the noise present in the images due to different reasons. So for this restoration technique, we have different noise models that are available. We are going to discuss now about different noise models, and we will see a PDF for each noise model, representation and probability density function. So now let us see different noise models. So here importantly, we have to discuss the noise probability density function. So this probability density function is simply represented as PDF, probability density function. So here, what is this probability density function? So for each noise model, we are going to draw the probability density function graph. So we should know first what is meant by this probability density function. So here, this probability density function will give the probability of occurrence. So that means here, the probability of occurrence at that point. So the first noise model we are going to see is Gaussian noise. So the probability density function for this Gaussian model with a variable z will be represented as, so these are the standard equations for all these noise models. So P of z is equal to 1 by root 2 pi sigma e power minus z minus mu whole square by 2 sigma square. So this is the probability density function for Gaussian noise. So here we can observe in this equation different parameters. So here we can see Z. So here Z represents the gray level, which is also called intensity level. And here we can see mu. So mu is the mean of the average value Z. And here we can see sigma. Sigma is the standard deviation. We can also call it as variance. Now, so using this equation, how we can represent the probability density function for this Gaussian noise means? So we can represent the probability density function for this Gaussian noise. So this is Z and P of Z. So we can draw the graph of probability density function. So this is the graph of probability density function. So here, this is the maximum point. Okay. And here, its value, maximum value is equal to 1 by root 2 pi sigma. And here across 3 dB, we have to find the value. So across this point, the value will be 0.607 by root 2 pi sigma. So here what are these 3 points means? So the middle point here is mu. So coming to the left side, it is mu minus sigma, and here you will have mu plus sigma. So this is the probability density function for Gaussian noise. Now, Coming to the next noise model, second noise model, which is relay noise. So the probability density function for this relay noise is given by P of Z is equal to 2 by B Z minus A e power minus Z minus A whole square by B. So this is P of Z when Z is greater than or equal to A, or it will be 0 for Z less than A. So here the main thing is the parameters. In order to find the noise, we have to consider mainly here mean and variance. So mean is represented with mu and variance is represented with sigma square. So the mean of this density function is given as, so this is mean and here this is variance. So mean mu is equal to A plus root pi B by 4 and variance sigma square is equal to B into 4 minus pi by 4. So considering these equations, so we can draw the probability density function for this relay noise. So the probability density function for this relay noise, so here Z and this is P of Z. So the probability density function will be like this. So this is the maximum point. Okay. So this is the point A and this is A plus root of B by 2. And here the value is 0.607 root 2 by B. So this is the probability density function for relay noise. Coming to the next noise model. Next noise model is Erlang noise. We can also call this Erlang noise as gamma noise also. So the probability density function for Erlang noise is given by P of Z is equal to A power B Z power B minus 1 by B minus 1 factorial into E power minus AZ. For condition Z is greater than or equal to 0 or 0 for Z less than 0. So here the mean and variance formulas are given for the Erlang noise. So here this mu represents mean and here this sigma square represents variance. So here mean mu is equal to B by A and variance sigma square is equal to B by A square. So the probability density function for this Erlang noise based on this mathematical representation we can draw here. So here Z and this is P of Z. So the probability density function for this Erlang noise will be like this. So small difference only will be there between this probability density function of these noise models, first three noise models. So here this is the maximum point. Okay. So the amplitude will be here is represented as K and here at the point B minus 1 by A. So here we can see K. So what is this K here means? K is equal to A into B minus 1 power B minus 1 by B minus 1 factorial e power minus of B minus 1. So this is the value K we are going to obtain here. And this is the probability density function for Erlang noise. So we can also call this as gamma noise. So for each noise model, we will have this probability density function mathematical representation. Along with that, we will also have the formulas for mean and variance, and we should also draw the graphical representation of this probability density function. And the next noise model is exponential noise. So here the probability density function for exponential noise is given by P of z is equal to a into e power minus az for the condition z is greater than or equal to 0. Otherwise, it will be 0 for z less than 0. And here mean and variance for the probability density function is given. So mean is represented with mu and variance is represented with sigma square. So this is the formula for mean and this is the formula for variance. So mean mu is equal to 1 by a and variance sigma square is equal to 1 by a square. So based on this, we know generally how the exponential signal look like. Now if we want to draw the probability density function for this exponential noise, so here the probability density function will be like this. So this is z and here p of z. Okay. And here we can observe the magnitude a. So this is the point here. This is the point a. Okay. So this is the probability density function for exponential noise model. So coming to the next noise model, which is uniform noise. So the probability density function for this uniform noise is given by P of z is equal to 1 by b minus a for a less than or equal to z less than or equal to b. Otherwise, it is 0. So the mean and variance of this uniform noise is given by, so here mean is represented as mu. So mu is equal to a plus b by 2 and here variance is equal to sigma square is equal to b minus a whole square by 12. So these are the values of mean and variance for uniform noise. So in order to represent the probability density function of this uniform noise, so uniform noise means between the 2 points A and B, the magnitude will be uniform, that will be same. So here this is Z and P of Z. So considering the 2 points A and B, so uniform noise means, so here up to some extent the noise will be uniform, and here to what extent it will be uniform means it is 1 by b minus a. So 1 by b minus a. So this is the probability density function for uniform noise. Coming to the next noise model, which is impulse noise. So another name for this impulse noise model is salt and pepper noise. So the probability density function for this impulse noise can be represented as, so here two cases are there. One is salt noise and another one is pepper noise. So here we have PA and PB. So P of Z is equal to PA, that is one type of noise when Z is equal to A, and P of Z is equal to PB for Z is equal to B, and it is 0 otherwise. Now, so in order to represent the probability density function, so these are PA and PB. So here Z, and this is P of Z. So here the 2 points A and B. So here A and B, Z is ranging from A and B. Okay. So at the point A we have PA. So here at the point A we have some magnitude which is represented as PA, and at another point B we have the magnitude which is PB. So here consider this is impulse. So and its magnitude is PB. Okay. So this is the probability density function for impulse noise model or salt and pepper noise model. So these are different types of noise models. So we have studied different noise models till now. So one is Gaussian noise model, next relay noise model, and here gamma noise model, exponential noise model, and next we have discussed about uniform noise model, and the last one is impulse noise model. So these are different noise models. And coming to the next topic, which is periodic noise. So here this periodic noise also occurs during image acquisition. So here it may be during image acquisition due to different reasons like electrical or electromechanical interference. So we can consider one example for this periodic noise. So we can consider a sinusoidal waveform. So the sinusoidal noise will consist of different range of frequencies, and periodic noise can be reduced by applying frequency domain filters. So using this frequency domain filters, this periodic noise can be reduced. So the Fourier transform of pure sinusoidal signal is a pair of conjugate impulses located at the conjugate frequencies of the sine wave. So here we have to consider two conjugative sine waves that are located at conjugative frequencies. So if the amplitude of the sine wave in the spatial domain is strong enough, we can observe that the spectrum of the image as a pair of impulses of each sine wave in the image. So here for the periodic noise, we are discussing based on the example which is sinusoidal noise. Coming to the next topic, that is estimation of noise parameters. So during image acquisition or during image transmission, noise is included in the digital image. The objective is to reduce the noise present in the images. So here that particular noise can be reduced, that particular noise may be periodic noise, that noise can be reduced by applying frequency domain filtering. So the parameters of periodic noise can be estimated by applying Fourier spectrum of the image. So the simplest way to find this noise is by using the image strips. So we have seen how to draw the image strip by considering the image. So image should be converted into another form. From that form, we have to draw the graph, represent that in the dotted lines. C represent all the points, have the intensity scale. So based on that, we have to draw first image strips. So we have already discussed how to draw these image strips in our previous lectures. So first we have to consider the image strips for the input image what we have considered, and for that we have to calculate the mean and variance of gray level. So here the formula for mean is given. So here mean is represented with mu, which is equal to sigma zi belongs to S, zi into P of zi. And here the formula for variance is given. So sigma square is equal to sigma zi minus u whole square into P of zi. So by using these two parameters, the noise can be estimated. So that is, by using this mean and variance, by calculating mean and variance, the noise in the digital images can be estimated. So in this formula, we can observe here Zi. So what is this Zi represents? So this Zi is the gray level value of the pixel in S. So here, what is this S represents? Here we are going to consider image strips to find this parameters mean and variance. So here S is nothing but image strip. So S is nothing but image strip. So Zi are the gray level values of the pixels in S. And here we can observe P of Zi. So here P of Zi is the corresponding normalized value present in the histogram. So this is how we have to estimate the noise present in the images. So in this class, we have discussed about image degradation and restoration, or different noise models, and also we have seen periodic noise and estimation parameters to find the noise. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.